I'd like to call the meeting to order, if I may, everyone. No jumping up yet, please. I'd like to call the meeting to order
Roll the
at
jump.
4:02. It's the meeting of September 30th, 2025. Please note this meeting will be in person and is being recorded. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a flag up there in the corner, behind Gary.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Because we didn't have enough of the warrant last night, those of us who were there, yay.
Have a revision.
So, Gary,
Yes, so, Madam Chair, we left off on Article 7, 1 through 6, the committee had voted on. So we left off on Article 7, which is the CIPC article.
okay, let's back up to that.
7, okay.
Okay, acceptance of the Capital Planning Committee report and funding of the fiscal year 2026 capital plan. So, it was interesting last night at the Select Board meeting that they asked a lot of the same questions we did,
Yeah.
honestly, which was interesting.
Can you give me an example? I had to leave early.
Somebody asked about the police cars.
Interesting, huh?
Nate, what else?
I think there was and I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I think sort of similar to what we had talked about, or it's just a sort of complete understanding of the process, right?
Correct, of what the committee does.
Of
that- yeah.
how we arrived at these recommendations, out of the whole list of recommendations, how we arrived at these recommendations being the ones to make the cut. So that was my perception of their conversation, if I was trying to summarize, but again, don't want to put words in anyone's
no,
mouth.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
it-
And ultimately, they approved
It seems like it would
it.
be helpful if capital started earlier and had the report ready for Finance Committee and Select Board to review. I know that really bumps us up a little bit, but it might make things a little bit easier because people are trying to understand that process. What do you
Yeah,
think,
we
Gary?
the only concern would be free cash not being certified.
Right, we rely on free cash to be certified in order to spend first,
Right,
for those, that's where most of this spending is.
And the certification is done by, what's the time?
September, October, it's when
Oh, it
we
is?
close
Okay.
the books.
Okay. yeah.
That's
So
early.
that varies,
Okay.
but it's pretty standard. I mean, I don't want to say it's the same week every year, but it can fluctuate. So we're up against the timeline of town meeting, so we work backwards and try to figure out, when free cash is going to get certified. I wouldn't want to go to CIPC and say we have X amount of dollars of free cash, and then the whole process is
yeah.
really null and void, and we don't have that kind of money, or we have additional monies that we could spend.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah,
And I think, we've talked about it, I think just being able to have access to the process, whether it's through being televised, recorded and televised, or through just simple minutes, would be helpful, I think, to answer a lot of the questions that I certainly had, and I think probably others. I mean, just the general public not having visibility. Now, I did, and I don't know if there's time to share, I don't want to take too much time, but I did do a little simplified analysis of the overall request, and if anyone's interested to see, I did
go
distill it
ahead,
into
please.
what was requested this year versus what was recommended, so at least we can have some visibility into what was requested and what ultimately made the cut. So if I can share my screen,
yeah, if they use the.
I'd be willing to show
Gary,
that.
how, or Cody, how difficult would it be for DCTV to record that?
We would, so I don't know how difficult, I don't know if that it would be difficulty, we'd have to, run that by the committee, obviously. We're all done with this fiscal year,
Right,
this,
right.
this town meeting. But for the spring town meeting, talk to the committee on, how we approach going forward with taped meetings, or having it on DCTV so people can continue to watch it.
Yeah. So we could tape it ourselves, for example, and then give it to them and they would put it together.
Well, no, they would tape it.
You mean tape
they would
the
tape it.
audio or tape the visual?
No, they would tape it, they would
like-
tape it, like a normal
Like a
meeting.
normal meeting.
Oh, okay,
That's
right,
off
of
the
course.
screen.
Yeah, no more wearing pajamas to the meeting, I guess, huh?
So, just to sort of explain what I did, I took the overall list that Gary sort of showed to us yesterday, and I pulled out a lot of individual rows just to sort of summarize only what was being requested this year. And generally speaking, there were 50 total requests from all departments, both enterprise and general fund requests. And then of those different requests, this column here, column H, is what was ultimately recommended by CPC and what is appearing on our warrant today. My column I is just the difference, right? Things that weren't funded or partially funded, and the balance that remains in those. So there's, like I said, 50 items total on the list. My mouse isn't working right now. There it is. And I'm not going to go through each one of them individually. I just want to sort of give you a sense. But I tried to summarize it up here, just to give broad numbers, right? So the total amount sorry, let me step back a second. I do want to point out that of all of the departments, only the schools are utilizing a 4 through 10 priority level. Every other department, so essentially what the schools are doing is they're ranking their requests. So they had, I think, 9 requests, and they rank them 1 through 10, 1 through 9, whatever. I think 2 is missing on the list for some reason. But they rank them. Every other department utilizes a priority level, utilizing multiple priority level 1s or priority level 2s. So there's a discrepancy there in the methodology that some of our departments, or one of our departments, is using, which I think skews, because we heard at the last meeting that, well, the track wasn't funded because it's a level 5 priority when we have level 1 priorities. It makes sense until you realize that there's only one level 5 priority in the entire town.
One thing I think I really want to try to hit home with is, we work, so CIPC meets and divulges into this, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes that Gary and I are working on with the school department. And so, if the assistant superintendent for finance and operations tells us, this is a list that we can live with, these are our priorities, that's what we work with. And so I get your concern. I get what you're saying.
I'm just
but-
saying, whether it was, obviously everyone knows that my passion is the schools. If it was the DPW that was doing it 1 through 10, I would say the same comment, right? Because there's a difference in the methodologies. And I'm not going to discredit that you guys are working
So,
very
but
closely.
we are, but I think there's a misunderstanding that there's not a prioritization of the schools projects here and there is, because actually we met with Jim, Gary had a conversation with Jim, and we kind of said, what do you need? And Jim gave us a list of what he needed, and everything that was on that list is being recommended. And that's from the official channel of the school department. Jim Kiley is the assistant superintendent of finance and operations. So I get what you're saying, and on the list how it appears, but I just, that's really important, because, we could hear from another person, Nate, maybe who's passionate about the schools, that they feel, well, this project should be funded. That's why we work directly with Jim, who represents the school committee and the superintendent, and we feel like we're actually giving or recommending exactly what they've asked for.
And
So
I think too that, and this happened also with, I'm trying to think the other process. The schools were asked to put their budget, I think, in another format last year. And so the schools were asked to use the same rating system as every department. But they didn't, and they're their own board. But you're right, when you compare a 1 to 10 to a 1 to 4, everybody else has a 1 to 4 system. It changes things, and they have the right, I think it was the budget format that they didn't want to follow the same budget format that the town, and it's to everybody's advantage if they do, but they didn't, and they don't have to. The school committee, thought it was extra work, and they didn't want
I
to.
think
do
the
it.
I don't want to get hung up too much on that. That's not my point. I just wanted to point that out, that there is a difference there, and that's why there's a total, Anyway, what I wanted to highlight is just my overall concern that I think we have a revenue problem in town, right? We are unable to fully fund our level 1 priorities as identified by our towns, right? And I think that's important context. So for example, the total level 1 priority request as identified by our departments was $8 million. We're recommending $2 million, which leaves $6 million unfunded, right? And this stems from our ability to, our free cash is generated by what's left over at the end of the year, right? Whether it's through turnbacks or local receipts or whatever, or there's a problem, right? We're not able to do these things. Now, the things that we are not funding, for example, are, and I'm not even gonna talk about specifics, the things that we are not funding this year are not things that are just gonna go away, right? They're things that must get done at some point in the future, and it's only going to cost more next year than it is this year. And some of the things on this list have been on the list for multiple years. And I think it's concerning that we are not able, we are kicking the can down the road because we're not addressing our revenue problems, is the bottom line. So just wanted to highlight high level. I apologize for getting into the miry, of the way we're ranking things. I just want to point out that there are significant needs, capital needs that we have in addition to operational needs that we'll talk about, I'm sure, in the spring, that we can't fund because we don't have the money to do it. Now, I think, anyway, I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to share what I'd pulled together here, just because I think it makes a little bit more sense. I can certainly send this to however I go about distributing information to the committee, just so everyone can see it and you digest it yourself. We don't need to read
Is
each
it the
one of these.
spreadsheet that you sent to me? I'll send it to everybody,
Yeah, same
because I
one.
have the list.
Yep.
So-
And it's a little tab Nate analysis down here. And I think it just gives a little cleaner picture of the totality of the request, which is what I was asking at the last meeting, versus what was ultimately recommended. And I don't want it to sound like I'm questioning the judgment of the CPC. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to understand the magnitude of the problem we're facing, really well.
So my
Understood.
thought on that is that when we get to the recommendations, which you have, Carrie, right? I think I put one sentence that said, regrettably, some items could not be funded. It seems like it would make sense to put more detail in that as far as the warrant, our recommendations go. You know what I'm saying? So let's not forget that when we get to that point.
Before we get too far into more detail, can somebody make a motion for us to, discuss this before we vote?
That is a great idea.
I'll make a motion to discuss. I'd
Thank
like
you,
to
Bill.
discuss too.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second the motion to discuss.
By Carrie. Anyway,
So,
So,
so when we
I
get to
see.
that point, I'd like to have your input, Nate, on what you want to add into the recommendation for the town, and we can work together and put something on paper
Do
for
other
it.
people have the draft?
oh,
It might
No,
be
we
good
do
to
not.
send
Would you
it,
like me to send it to everybody right now?
people can see. Yeah.
Sure.
we have to try to finalize it today.
Yeah, I have it up. I have it up, so
I'd like to read it in a straight line.
I don't know that I can.
Oh, can you
deliver
email, you
that
can't
for
email
you.
from here?
I can email.
Okay,
So, before I lose my train of thought,
yes.
Nate had some excellent recommendations, and in my opinion, I think it warrants, in our recommendation, more than one sentence. I think we need to begin to raise the flag and let people know what's coming. And they shouldn't be surprised, and I don't want to be accused 3-4 years down the road, what were you guys doing? How did you let this happen? So I think we should explain in our rationale that we're not funding $6 million of priority one requests, and that's a real issue. I think we need to do that sooner. I don't want to be in the position as, and I'd like to have more discussion on this, but that's another point. When I left the last meeting, the issue we have with the Water Enterprise Fund and the lack of funding there, that didn't happen overnight. They had $6 million 5 years ago. They got nothing. The problem with the well this year didn't happen last night. And yet the town, our leadership, administration wasn't made aware of it. And I'm disappointed to hear you tell us and at the select board last night that you guys are stepping in, when, to be quite frankly, we have administration that we pay very well down at the DPW. What is going on? You know, this shouldn't be happening with the money we're paying out for administrators in all these departments and a board. Boy, that's embarrassing. I don't want to be in that situation as a finance committee member, that someone's accusing me, what were you doing? You know, how did this happen? So anyway, that's enough of being a
Bill?
high horse.
If I may, all good points, Nate, John. Seems to me that the process is suspect too, although Nate's being accusatory, but the prospect is suspect. Seems to me that we may need to have type of an advisory board to overlook how these people and how these departments come up with a priority list. I also know that we only have X amount of dollars to work with. We also know that Brian did a study that articulated the fact that probably in 3 or 4 years, expenses are exceeding revenue. We do have contracts or contracted labor that's going to cause a problem, and we will have a revenue shortage. So there will be issues we brought up. But right now, we can only operate with what we know for monies that we have. I think, to Nate's point, the priority system is suspect and it needs to be addressed. And maybe there needs to be a board that scrutinizes some of these other departments' decisions over and above what's going on now.
So, just if I could interrupt for a second, are you asking for a board that supervises the capital planning committee?
Well, let me just say this. Right now, it's suspect because with the points that have been brought up at this, it seems to me that the process is suspect the way
What
the
is suspect,
priorities
Bill?
are.
What is
I'm really not following.
Not either.
Can I just add a
Yeah,
couple
please.
of things? So CIPC is designed to vet department requests. Terry sits on that committee. I sit on there. I don't vote, obviously, I'm not a resident. But I will tell you that they look at every single request. When I start off those meetings, I start off with what is available to spend. That is the first thing. They don't even see the requests. I have a kickoff meeting that we do, and so they don't even see those requests. Then I follow up with the requests. So not only are they prioritizing each department's request, but they're also prioritizing the entire request, if you will. So they're looking at that main spreadsheet that I had sent out and saying, okay, what is the available funds? What do we need for articles? Because free cash, we spend some free cash on the articles. And it comes down to X dollar amount. Now, per our financial policies, we should be keeping 2.5% to 5% of free cash available on hold. That means potentially to carry over to the next fiscal year, which it can. Historically, over the last decade, all free cash has been put to zero. We spent every penny of free cash on capital items. Millions of dollars for DPW, millions of dollars for the schools, so on and so forth. But they do vet out every single project, and they have presentations, they have, literature that's sent to them, and everything. But I think that above and beyond what we say here as a revenue problem, any of these projects that you see that ratchet up that number beyond $5-10 million, those would have to be a borrowing because the budget could not support that. The operational budget could not support even a $5 million, let's say we wanted to fix the stadium, $6 or $7 million. The operational budget could not sustain that. That would have to be a borrowing, maybe in combination with the long-term capital stabilization fund that we have. But any of these big ticket items that we see out there are a long-term borrowing, 20-year. But to get back to like what Cody had mentioned and what Nate's suggesting, we sit down. I had a good conversation this year with the schools. Let's take the schools, for example. And Jim Kiley came up and said, if you give us $100,000 for this, we can finish this project. If we can give us $200,000 for this, we can finish this project. I get that it's not the entire ask for the schools, but the conversations that we've been having over the last couple of years are getting us to repair schools, repair floors, refix bathrooms. It's not building a brand new school, but it's maintaining a level of, they may not get the bus, but in his mind, it's a priority that we do these other things beyond buying or purchasing those items that are the 7, the 8s, the 9s, or the 10s on the list. And there's no doubt there's a need for those. But but there's only a limited amount of funds available from free cash. The other alternative is that we have to borrow.
All right, so I was saying then, if you have a priority one, and by Nate's report, we cannot fund this for some reason or other, should there be more of a concern of why we can't fund it and how do we go about funding it? That was the point I was trying to make out. Now, maybe I used the wrong terminology when I said advisory board, but I meant some type of scrutinization
We-
to
we've-
say, why can't
Yeah,
we
we've
do
met-
level one as opposed to level four?
Through the course of CIPC, we've talked about alternative ways to fund these smaller projects. Maybe looking at an infrastructure bill where we take the schools, we take some of the DPW general fund items, and we make one big infrastructure bill, borrowing, I'm saying, and we borrow once for all these smaller items. We've talked about that more so over this year than we had last year. But we have to really think about this, that the spring meeting's coming up. How do we want to address some of these items that are on this list? Is it a borrowing? What is that borrowing extensive? I mean, what are we going to do? You know, can that be implemented, the timeline? If we were to do something in the spring, the first payment would be in FY '27. So we want to make sure that we've got the proper projects to go out and borrow. We have the capacity to do that. This board, this committee knows with AAA. We would look at somewhere around a 3.5% borrowing cost. So we're in a position that we can do that. It's just that we need to know exactly what we want to be borrowing for.
Have we ever talked about, I know I brought up a long time about floating bonds, issuing bonds. I know there's a process out there, I'm not that familiar with it, but I was wondering if we could do some type of borrowing, say, create a bond and borrow against that.
Well, when we go to the market, we're borrowing on the bond market.
You're borrowing
On the bond
as a municipal bond?
Yes.
Okay,
That's the instruments that we use when we borrow.
okay, all right.
And I would encourage the continuation of those discussions, because I think when we look at, like, for example, there's roughly 5 or 6 short-term projects that are not being funded right now that are worth about $1.5 million, right? They're not gonna get funded under this Article 7. Next year, those are gonna cost $60,000 to $75,000 more to do
Inflation.
because of the forecasted construction inflation costs, right? So it is literally costing us more money to do it later in the future than to borrow and do it now. So I would highly encourage the continuation of those
The
discussions.
challenge we face
my whole
is,
point.
it's a good point, and if we had the ability within our operating budget to do it, I think Gary and I would be having a different conversation. I would be urging, let's go, let's get out to market, we'll put it in the operating budget come fiscal '27, we're good to go. We don't have the ability. The operating budget doesn't have the ability to take on debt right now, right? We're already seeing that with some revenue shortfalls. So it would have to be a debt exclusion. Now we're looking at debt exclusion potentially for a roof at the high school. Now we're looking at a new middle school, 100 million, 150 million debt exclusion. Now we're looking at our wastewater treatment plant, 50 million, 100 million. How do we, so it's strategy. How do we do this? Because I don't know if the residents are gonna have an appetite to approve 3, 4 debt exclusions, maybe a Prop 2.5 override to, fund some operational budgets in the next 3, 4 years. You're all residents. I mean, you know better than me. I don't foresee that necessarily happening. So we have to be strategic about that too. So ideally, yes, we would. Ideally, we would fund DPW roads 10 million a year. That's what DPW would need to adequately care for all of our roads in town, would be $10 million a year. And we could do it now, right? And it would probably save us money in the long term, but we just don't have the ability to do that. That's the unfortunate reality.
I understand what you're saying there, and I think that what Nate's saying, which is very worthy, when I think about the town meeting in the spring, the conversation isn't happening out there in the town meeting. So by putting the information out there, even if we can't solve it, it's out there and people get used to it. And I remember when I first joined the Capital Improvement Committee, people were complaining that in the past, it had been kind of a rubber stamp committee. Somebody would come in and kind of say, this is what we can afford, this is all we're gonna do, and people felt like, so why am I here? And that has changed in the time that I've been there, in that people are asked to bring photographs, people are asked to bring records from, years past to see. We asked about getting rid of any vehicles that are no longer used so that we're not paying insurance, things like that. So people on the committee feel like it's a real process, and that's why I asked. The question of when to borrow is another complete question, and I think we could probably spend some more time on that, but it needs to be laid out as a process, because what was just described is the end, but we're right at the beginning, and at the beginning, people don't even know that we need this, or how much it's gonna cost, or what we're not, that's why putting in here what we're not funding, I think is a good first step. Because then people can see, when they complain about the roads, well, this would be one of the reasons that we're not doing that.
Yeah, to Terry's point, the CIPC, when they've met over the last few years, have discussed alternatives to funding a lot of these projects. Borrowing is one of the biggest things now. Terry can maybe speak a little, maybe chime in a little bit, but when I first started, there was no conversation about how we, it was pretty much free cash, and that was it. And, when these projects start to get over $5 million, free cash cannot support it. So I think CIPC has done a tremendous job looking at these projects. They know the impact that this would have on budgets if in fact we would have these in-house. They know that the only other alternative is to borrow. And the conversations leading up to the Springtown meeting will become even more important when we talk about borrowing for those projects. And if in fact they recommend that, I think that at that time, if we have the budget advisory group together, it'd be a good topic for that group to talk about going forward and how we implement this. What the costs are gonna be to the town, what the residents expect to pay. So, we're looking at developing this now for the next, potentially starting with this budget cycle. So hopefully that's one of the key things that the budget advisory group could be working on. Something to what I think Bill was
That's what I
saying.
was getting
Right.
at. Maybe I used the wrong term, didn't want to sound like a Machiavellian, but at the same point, I just wanted to say, we need something to maybe clear up the process here. That was my only point.
I think the town has made great strides over the last several years. I've been a town meeting member for a really long time. I've been here for 5 years. As far as looking at the numbers, getting the information out, is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it's come a long way to educating the public. And you're right about being strategic, because if you just dump it on people, what's the first thing they're going to say? Nope. That's the first reaction. So it has to be done the right way, no doubt. And I realize that we have to spend more money going forward, but, we're not going to solve that today, by the way.
I think it highlights too one of our points that we brought up over the past year with communication. And it's just another thing to
Yep.
communicate, and how do we communicate and get it out clearly that, hey, this is what's going on.
Yep.
We'll let everybody know, and that way we can better plan for the future.
Well, we have those public forums that have happened, and one is happening tonight. Those are informational sessions that I hope people are watching if they're not going.
And I think in our role as the finance committee, educating town meeting of the details that we're uncovering as we do our research and we go about our work is the best impact we can have as a committee to getting that word out, right? That's our job, is to inform town meeting and provide a recommendation as to whether or not the things they're being asked to vote on is prudent, and the information, providing them the information they need to make an informed vote, right? So I think, anyway.
No, we're very good at questioning and criticizing. We do both of those things really, really well.
So maybe Gary can send along the CIPC letter that he puts together, because, I, as the finance committee, you certainly want to share your rationale and some information like you just mentioned. But I do think the CIPC letter that's put together addresses everything, pretty much, that I've heard. As far as these are the number of unfunded requests, this is the dollar amount, and so that is provided. We are certainly providing.
I give high level, like what Nate just had there for the totals. I don't get into the details of that. We have a spreadsheet that's miles long, but I think the key is potentially to have the meetings publicized and have people watching it and say, because ultimately, to your point, to Nate's point, if town meeting is educated, they're the ones that are gonna push us on to the next level, the debt exclusion out to the public. So we want town meeting to be as educated as they can on projects, especially when we're gonna put multi-million-dollar projects in front of them.
And is that for the CIPC meetings to televise? Is that
Yeah,
what
we'll talk, I think we'll talk to the group coming up.
Yeah, because I know I watched the select board meeting, and I know Chris O'Neill was saying, how do I vote for these things if I don't know what what questions have been asked, and he asked about the police cruisers and same things we asked at the last meeting. So I think if we could watch that ahead of time, we'd kind of have a better idea of, okay, this has been vetted, and we know it's something we feel comfortable voting for.
I think it's part of the process, and Terry, you might have touched upon this already, but I know we can't really control that cycle, that the deadline is really tight, but certainly someone should be talking to the select board, and ideally to us as well. And Terry does a great job, of course, of communicating, but I don't know, do we need to have more from the group to talk to us? Because, we didn't go into this incredibly well-educated, and last night it was apparent that they didn't either.
Didn't either.
So, I don't know, it's how do we fix that?
I mean, part of it is, to an extent, trust, that's why we put together a CIPC. I get the desire to want to be educated, and that's a good thing. But part of it is, right, we put together this group, they're the ones vetting the process, and,
I know, right? Like, I'm
and I think.
trying not to take it
No,
personally.
and I don't think it is
God.
personal, but I do think part of it too is, that's a group that's been put together. Similar to Nate, your point about the finance committee, right, being kind of the eyes and ears for a town meeting. There is a sense of trust, right, with the finance committee. Again, not that town meeting members shouldn't do their own due diligence and education, but not to the extent that you guys are able to dig into the budget. And I think that's the same case for CIPC, right? You aren't going to be able to dig in quite as much as CIPC, because that's their main focus. And then also, I think part of it is a trust with the leadership team here. I mean, you have Gary and I, this is our profession. We're digging in, spending, probably the past few months, 60, 70 hours a week on this. And so I guess it's a part of, that's one aspect of it. We can certainly get better with the outreach, but part of it is a sense of trust.
No, you're right. I mean, I trust what the department heads know about, I don't want to prioritize school projects. Should this playground be graded over versus giving them technology? I don't think that's our job at all. And we all know Mr. Kiley is incredibly well-qualified to say which projects are absolutely the most important.
Right.
And then he has those discussions with you and that board, and then they decide. I give them a lot of credit, and I do listen to them, absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would say in relation to that, because our job as the finance committee is not just to review the budget, right? We're charged with reviewing all articles that town meeting is being asked to vote on, including CIPC, including bylaw and charter changes, right? So our job is to investigate those things so that we can properly advise town meeting. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing that investigation. So I agree there is a level of trust, but it's trust but verify too, right? Like we're charged as a branch of the legislative body of town versus the executive body of town to advise town meeting, who ultimately takes a vote and says, yes, we do this, right? So I think that's an important distinction to make, but I don't want to keep harping on this for too long. The only other question that I had at the other meeting was just I think we found out that the rate and efficiency study is just an efficiency study. Therefore, it's applicable to all of DPW and not just the water and sewer division. Therefore, it's appropriate for it to be funded from surplus revenue. However, we still have the sewer and stormwater asset management, which is only being charged to the general fund. And I'm wondering if it's appropriate for at least a portion of it, if it is sewer and stormwater, if a portion of that ought to be charged to the sewer enterprise fund.
So it's, my understanding is it is primarily stormwater. It does encompass some sewer, but this is a grant match, this 100,000, so it's actually a $250,000 project. 150,000 is a grant that we have received, and to be honest, the 100,000 is a worst-case scenario. We anticipate doing about 40,000 of in-kind services. However, it's an estimate, so we need to be able to show the Clean Water Trust, who the grant's through, that we have our end of the bargain. And so we feel the 100,000 is a fair application, considering stormwater falls under the general fund. We don't have a stormwater enterprise fund. Maybe it's something we look at in the future, but right now, we do not have a stormwater enterprise fund.
And that's how it was presented from the department,
Yeah.
was under the general fund.
I know there are those that think that sewer, even if their house is not personally connected, somehow doesn't affect them. But the reality is, it affects the whole community, and you have to look at it that way, because it affects our economic development, it affects how our environment is protected, it affects our public health. Whether or not you are connected to sewer in this town, it affects those three things absolutely. So it's important that we don't separate it. This may not be the best example, but if I don't have children in school, should I pay for that? I mean, you know,
Yeah,
the
I'm
school is
not-
critical to the whole town, so is sewer.
I'm not making that argument at all. I'm just saying, and I appreciate that response, and I can understand there's some give and take, some gray area in the way things are going. But I think it's as a general comment, because we saw it last year in the fall with the Vector truck, right? I had asked that question at town meeting, why is that being charged? That's used for both sewer and stormwater applications. I think just keeping a close eye, I'm just saying, you know, making sure that anything that we can charge legally to an enterprise fund, I think ought to be charged to that enterprise fund, because we wouldn't be in a scenario where say Parks and Rec could ask to use sewer enterprise fund to buy something, right? So I think, like, we can't possibly do that. So I think anything that can be charged to an enterprise fund ought to be charged to an enterprise fund, so that what's in the general fund can be used for the things that can only be charged to the general fund.
I
is my
understand that.
only- my only
I
point.
am a person that does put a lot of faith in Gary and Cody in making some of those decisions. They certainly know whether something is legal or not legal. I'm not a lawyer. So I'd like to think we're covered in that respect and have to honor what they think is best.
To follow up on the comment that you made about the water, though, and this is totally on another subject, but at some point, it will come up that we need to consider issues that affect people who use water and sewer and people who don't. For example, the Title V almost emergency that happened a little while ago. People who only have septic systems are gonna be faced with a very huge bill if there isn't some way to help them, and then vice versa. So those are issues that have to be straightened out someplace else, but it's a good point, I
It's the
think.
same idea. It's the
We
whole
are all in
community,
this
whether it's a
together.
personal assessment on your property or not. Yeah, correct. Do we have any more questions on this article before, or comments on this article before we vote?
Do you, did people see what was written so that we
No, I've
can?
been trying to send it this
Oh,
whole
okay.
time.
Go back to
My
that second.
Wi-Fi is not connecting,
So we're ready to vote? All in favor of, Article 7, my screen went black. Of Article 7?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous, no opposed, no.
Sorry,
So it's 7?
Article,
7-0.
700.
7-0.
Good count.
7-0.
We're all asleep.
Just counting.
no, yeah, they did eight.
Article 8.
Yeah.
We have to vote on that.
Sorry, I didn't have any of the counts on it.
I'm
so they're
putting them in.
all- Okay, they're all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Article 9.
Thank you, Terry. See if it goes
You want to
through
read
from my
what
phone.
we're going to write?
I'm gonna try to
Oh,
updating it right now, I'm trying.
Article 8 was voted on.
Yep.
Yeah, we voted on
7-0.
700.
700.
Yeah, that was the count last week.
Yep.
So Article 9, is that what we're up to, Gary?
Yes. Charter amendment. Board of Public Works.
Yep.
Motion to recommend Article 9.
Section.
Seconded by,
Nate.
oh, Nate, sorry. You don't have a name tag, Nate. I don't know what to call you. Just kidding. So from the discussion last night of the Select Board, apparently the Board of Public Works was in favor of this charter amendment, which I like to hear. I like to hear that groups are in favor of these before we start making decisions for them. Anybody have any questions or comments on this? Nothing?
Oh, this is 9? I get the wrong one.
Article 9.
They're changing the number on the board.
Yeah, I missed them.
Yep, from 3 to 5 persons appointed by the Select Board.
Bill, the article numbers have changed, so we took some out. The latest one is here on the end of the table.
All right, somebody pass one down?
Yeah, I don't
Right,
have it. Is
right.
that it?
That's the latest one,
Thank you.
if you're looking for a copy.
Yeah, I am, thank you very much. I have an outdated one.
Yeah, the numbers are, of course, changing, ever changing.
Very much.
You're welcome.
Any questions or comments? Are we ready to vote?
Article 9.
Is that a yes, we're ready to vote?
Yes, we're ready to
All in
vote.
favor of Article 9?
Aye.
No opposed? 700.
Beautiful. Article 10.
Article 10,
Yes, you want to give a summary?
charter amendment, you want to?
Sure. So this was recommended by the select board last night, 4-0. This effectively, right now, a 10-day posting requirement is required for any rule and regulation change, and it can be done anytime throughout the year. This would change that so that essentially it would have to be done effective January 1st or July 1st, and there's a 90-day period of posting requirement. And if there were something that needed to be posted or changed off-cycle, it requires a public hearing before the select board.
Somebody want to make a motion so we can talk about it?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second
Motion
it.
made by Bill
Discussion.
Bull, seconded by Terry Ham. Any questions?
I do want to say, I did read the charter a little bit more in my spare time. In the definition section, it does define the term town agency, so I've got no concerns, and I actually really like this amendment. I think it will make life more predictable for people who want to do stuff in town.
Yes, I agree. And John Souza made a good argument last week in favor of it, if I recall correctly. Yes. Anybody else have any comments, questions? Ready to vote? All in favor of Article 10? Aye. Any opposed? 700.
All right.
Article 11?
Yes, Article 11.
I think the select board made a good effort last night with reading this entire
I
warrant
know.
article. Good for her. That was a lot to read. So ultimately, it's changing some language in a bylaw, if I'm correct. Cody, you want to expand on that?
Sure, it's a general bylaw amendment regarding the Council on Aging. Primarily just defines it as current practice, which is an advisory board. It just wasn't explicitly listed in there as an advisory board. Beyond that, it gives the select board the ability to appoint honorary advisory board members and associate advisory board members. Majority of the group has to be made up of persons 55 or older. It adds that language in. That's really the extent.
I actually spoke with Amy before I came here. I am the liaison at the Council on Aging. And they've been working on their own set of bylaws, if you will, probably for the last year. And it just fits right into what this article brings out. So I asked if she had any questions about it. She said, no, it fits in perfectly what they've been doing. So I just wanted to pass that on to the rest of you.
That's good. Yeah, it's my understanding this came from them, correct?
It did, yep. It came from them. We reviewed it, made a couple of small adjustments, but this is something that they're, them and their board are bringing forward.
That's right.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
By Patrick Saunders,
second
second.
it.
Bill Bowles. Anybody have any questions or comments? Are we ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 700.
So the last article for the committee is Article 13. I think there was, Terry had a question they had emailed.
Yep, and this is basically an old grant that was done in 2010, but it left behind a revolving fund. And money needs to be transferred from that to do the same thing that grant did, which is pretty much supporting affordable housing, planning, consulting, etc.
We have done this several times in the past. Most recently, October of '21, we appropriated 60,000. October of 2019, there was an appropriation. October of 2016, and October of 2015, October of 2013. So this has been done several times. It's been a few years since we've done it, but, and we've used it for a number of things. We used it in fiscal '24, we needed some engineering work for a municipal vulnerability preparedness grant that we were submitting. So it allowed us to hire the engineering firm so we could beef up our application. We used it for some preliminary plans for the dog park, which is under construction. They, in order to get CPC's kind of updated approval, we needed some updated plans from them a few fiscal years ago. So really just supporting community development activities. It can kind of be broad, but grants, housing initiatives, planning, things like that.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Who made the motion? Sorry. Nick made the motion, seconded by Terry. Any questions or comments? Are we ready to vote?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 700. Is that it?
That is it.
Yeah, is this all she wrote?
And there's no special meeting, just regular. That's
Did we
good.
talk about Article 14 already?
Yeah, did we do 14 already?
Yeah, we voted last time.
did.
All right, what was that, 700?
It was 700.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And then we did 15, 16, 17, right?
Well, yeah, the numbers are,
They've been renumbered.
Yeah, they
so-
renumbered. The last, I just sent that out this afternoon. You saw that's the new one.
you sent it out to all of us, right, Gary?
Correct.
Anyway, I didn't get it.
So are we gonna do rationales now?
Ideally.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just need the.
Were you able to send it?
I did try. Anybody get it or no? My Wi-Fi is not working in here very well.
Yeah, it gets tricky.
I got it on my phone, but I can never connect to the internet here.
I usually can. Did you try sending it to anyone?
I got it on my phone.
Did you get it on your phone?
Yeah. the
A
warrant
lot of times it comes
recommendations.
through on the phone, but it doesn't come through.
Because I forwarded the exact, copy that Terry sent me because it wouldn't come through my computer. It won't.
I know, it
send
comes
to
through because it's cell service. It comes through on cell service and not the Wi-Fi. Are,
It's public, but I can't.
I can connect and get it up
Yeah,
there. I
no,
know it's wavy.
no, we'll
but-
have to. or you
Terry,
can't
do you
get,
want to send it to me? And I can put
did
it
you
up?
try sending it
It's
to just
not
Gary?
going- It's not.
Oh,
I can.
Yeah, unless you give me some access. The Wi-Fi is not working.
You didn't
and
send
all.
it to him now. Did you try?
Oh, I can
Try
try.
sending it just
But-
to,
Public,
But it
the
won't be
public
the
internet won't
updated
work?
one.
The public Wi-Fi doesn't work? Isn't working for you?
Not sending.
you can, you want to,
on.
who's going to type it, Terry? You going to type it? Do you want?
I can type it, yeah. I
But
can.
I've already started if you wanted, Terry.
Okay.
like I've already gotten all the
You want
numbers
this- you want
in. I started doing
want
some more
the-
rationales.
Yeah, because that would be easier than me trying to figure out how to get this here.
I mean, I'm on the public Wi-Fi too, but sometimes with email,
Terrible.
it's terrible, but
Oh, so,
it goes on the cell
especially if you
phones.
have
Terry,
Comcast.
I started editing the copy
Oh,
that
this
you
is
sent me.
terrible.
No, I was just, you don't have any way to, I don't know if I
No.
have a USB stick or
But
anything.
I
You don't
can-
have any way to do that, right? No.
Not
have a hotspot if
necessarily,
you wanna
but
hook up
I
to
can
it?
get it up on there.
Yeah, I've
What
got
is
one too
that?
if you want.
Hotspot.
If you want to hook
Try
up to it,
that.
you can send it.
That might work.
Gary, I chose screen mirroring, but nothing's happening. Should I restart it, do you think?
Let me see if the gentleman is
Yeah,
from
I don't
DCTV.
have to, unfortunately, so.
It should pop up as iPhone for the Wi-Fi. They pop
I mean,
up.
I tried using are you on Wi-Fi here? Okay, so that it's trying to connect.
How to do a Mac, I'm just trying to put that on the screen.
Password.
Password, all right, everyone block their ears. It's Cody with a capital C.
Is that it?
Nope. 1028. Everyone forget you heard that.
You're gonna have to change it now.
Email to everyone I know.
Everybody's gonna use your
Are we
hotspot.
still being recorded?
I think so.
People
Time to
outside in the
change.
parking lot.
So, let me see now if it'll send. You might get it like 500 times now.
Yeah, Terry,
Is that the issue?
try to,
Did I restart?
put it back in.
Oh,
Connector fully in there?
It has a
Yeah, just give it to me.
It
arch
failed.
to the cord, so.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Let's see.
But I mean, I can get my computer up
Yeah,
on the
let's-
screen. Am I too
All
far
you have to
away?
do is connect it.
Do you have an HDMI in
Yeah.
here? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, yeah, I have a
Oh, they have
connector.
they have a cord, but
Let's recognize it's connected to
All you have to do
HDMI.
is
just trying to be able to read it. though.
Yeah, you have a,
You can,
Carrie, yeah, Carrie has
yeah,
it.
I have
all
a,
right, give it, put it, well, that's an Apple too.
All you have to do is connect it,
yeah, but I have a connector.
yeah. Oh, good.
Terry,
There
you
you go.
can't get your
That
Mac
works.
up there?
Then they can plug into that.
Horizontal Windows laptops.
Beautiful.
There's,
Yeah, it's not
Do it.
connecting. I don't know why, but it's not wanting
Oh,
to connect
okay.
to you.
you know, I will share it on a thumb drive.
I can share it on there.
Connect to that?
If you
We
give
can
me an
try if we
HDMI,
Yeah, have that reach, Gary, I'll connect to that, as long as it has the right port.
yeah, it should work.
Next are
There you go.
incompatible
Does it?
with the business
Yeah.
world apparently.
Well,
There you go, now it should work.
should.
Well, Terry, you've put your screen up before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But what?
you're right about the screen though.
The screen's terrible in here. It's awful.
Yeah, it's a bit.
I see why we go in the other room. All right, so that's here. Look, you can read on here because I know. Is it
Like
still
the
too
project, the
tiny?
projector's too
Dark and-
close.
.6 type, so no.
All right, it's as light as it goes,
No, don't
and
worry
it's
about it,
not.
just you can make it bigger on the screen.
All right, so,
please.
do you want me to make it bigger on the screen? Is that
Yes,
what you're
please.
saying? Okay. Yeah, let's do this.
Cross-eyed.
And let's see, I know, it's really hard to see it. Oh,
That's
Actually
okay.
good.
hey, that's pretty good, huh?
I don't think I'm the only one that couldn't read it.
All right, so, let's see, going up to Article 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, recommendation, this article requests an appropriation of $22,800 from Dartmouth Community Preservation Historic Preservation Reserve to be allocated to the Dartmouth Heritage Preservation Trust for the remediation of Akin House. This project is essential to mitigate water and moisture issues within this historical site. The appropriation aligns with the objectives of the Community Preservation Act and serves the preservation of the town's heritage,
I would capitalize town,
of the town's heritage.
because
Okay,
that's how I am.
okay, yeah, that's
Other than
good.
that, I think it sounds great.
All right, that was all Terry, so, thank
Ooh,
you,
that's
Terry.
Awesome.
We good with that? No
We
change?
good, everybody
No
good?
changes.
No, can we change historical site to a historical dwelling?
Yep.
We're not mitigating water problems on the site.
Okay,
Where
good
is
point.
that? That's very good. Historical preservate, where is that?
We all doing something different.
Mitigate, I have to mitigate, it says water.
You want me to, instead of site, you said,
Dwelling.
Dwelling,
Dwelling.
good point.
Is it showing up on the?
Just one second. Yeah, we're not receiving the feed for it, so we just won't have that in the reporting. I don't know if it's a Mac.
it is a Mac, but,
Oh.
That's probably, I mean, that's okay.
I mean, we're only editing.
You don't necessarily need it, we just won't
Okay.
have it on the reporting. If you guys
Okay.
want us working through it.
Okay.
it's fine.
Thank you, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to bring another one next time.
Exit toys.
Okay, so the next one, Article 2, appropriation to the stabilization fund, 700. This article proposes an appropriation of $250,000 from surplus revenue and transfers this amount to the stabilization fund. What is that?
Is that a secret message?
It's a secret message.
There you go.
This, to resolve contract negotiations for all staff. This practice aligns with Massachusetts General, I went down, oh, sorry. I'll start over. All right, let's start over.
You've lost
Article
me.
2, yeah, that messed me right up. This article proposes an appropriation of $250,000 from surplus revenue and transfers this amount to the stabilization fund. This reduction in the transfer amount is primarily attributed to the stabilization fund's current 7.5% interest rate, which confirms to the town's financial policies.
I think that
7.5.
last is,
Reforms, yeah.
the reduction in the transfer amount is primarily attributed to the stabilization fund's current balance of greater than 10%
Yeah, the 7.5, I don't know where.
the operating budget of the town.
Of greater than,
10% of the operating budget of the town.
I knew it
which
was gonna be that.
exceeds the town's financial policies.
Okay.
What?
Repeat that.
Current balance of greater than 10% of the operating budget, the town operating budget, capital T. You catch that, Janine? I said capital T.
Sorry, I got it. I was just concentrating. Of the town, of the town's operating budget. Yes?
Yep, which exceeds
Which
the
exceeds.
town's financial policies.
There's something about that
wanna
sentence
say
that makes no sense to me. Am I wrong, Gary? I see you shaking your head. I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense
This
to me.
reduction in the transfer amount is primarily attributed to stabilization funds current balance of greater than 10% of the town's operating budget, which
Yeah,
exceeds.
I don't know if you
like
want to
it
include which exceeds the town's financial
I don't
policy.
like it seats at all.
Okay, we're gonna get that out of there.
And also, I think when you say this reduction in
Yeah, we're not
transfer,
defining-
it's misleading, because
It is.
what are you reducing? Unless you get
Exactly.
into,
Just this
we're
transfer.
decreasing it from
Yeah.
previous years,
Yeah, this transfer.
Exactly.
Okay, this transfer amount is primarily attributed to the stabilization fund's current balance of greater than 10% of the town's operating budget.
Then you could say which is in line with the town's financial policies,
To bring it into line.
whatever you want to put it, but in line with.
I would honestly just take that last phrase out, because I think we are exceeding the town's financial policy currently, which not a bad thing, but it's just a fact.
want me to
End
take
it
it
at
out?
operating budget, take out what's after operating budget.
All right, operating budget, period.
Correct.
Oh.
It's because you can't do email here, it's gonna keep popping
Yeah,
up.
I know, I don't know how to get rid of it. Oh, let's do that and then just close it out.
You're gonna have to do it, okay.
I don't know how to close it out at the moment. Get rid of it. Oh, that didn't get rid of it.
Can you,
Let's just say send later. Sure, schedule, whatever. You guys might get us
At
something from me
midnight.
later. I have no idea what it is. Okay,
Okay,
so
and it's not the operating budget, it's operating revenues.
we're just gonna budget period.
Well,
Operating
I would
revenue,
put revenues.
only because our financial policy specifically
Yeah,
says
revenues.
operating revenues.
So instead of budget.
instead of
right,
budget,
revenues.
put revenues.
This transfer amount is primarily attributed to,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this is
that's good.
Sixth grade level, Terry?
Sixth grade.
Feeling not so smart?
We've done
All right.
we've done this
We
article
all-
before, so,
I know. Did you cut and paste from a previous?
No.
no?
Oh, you wrote it from scratch.
She
Okay.
did a great job.
Oh,
Just
just
saying.
asking.
Is there, so do you wanna go back to last year's language I can pull up?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think if everybody's
Well,
okay with it,
Don't
I
worry
think
about
it's
it. That
okay.
makes
I
sense.
think it's fine.
Article 3, appropriation for collective bargaining and non-union agreements. This article appropriates $650,000 from surplus revenue to supplement the stabilization fund, which is set aside to resolve contract negotiations for all staff. This practice aligns with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 5B. It is standard procedure when existing contracts are nearing expiration. Yeah. I mean, sorry.
good.
That makes sense.
Do you want to mention something about the comp and class? I mean, because that is one of the primary reasons we're
study.
putting this high of a level of funding into this. Because
A
we're,
sentence on that would be good, I think.
Yeah, I think you can add it to, which is set aside to resolve contract negotiations for all staff in light of the ongoing classification and compensation study.
I didn't get all that.
So after staff, sentence number 1, second line, middle.
Yeah?
Which is set aside to resolve contract negotiations for all staff in light of the ongoing classification and compensation study.
Classification and compensation.
Compensation.
Yeah, Steady.
And to be honest, I don't know anything about Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 5.
that just,
so I'm
it just
assuming
allows, it
that's
just
all right.
allows stabilization funds.
Right, we don't need to
effectively.
detail the law.
Can we put after the word staff in parentheses excluding school department? Because it's not all staff.
Oh, okay.
That's true, good point. Is that correct? Right, it's everything
Correct.
but,
It's everything but. So, all staff excluding the school department.
Is it also excluding the police? I thought I had heard in the previous meeting, so that it includes the police.
It excludes the fire districts.
Everything excludes the fire district.
So, I think it was set up for all, I don't think
Yeah.
it just specifically said general fund or.
No, but the purpose
I know,
of, right.
yeah, and the comp and class rate doesn't include
Right.
them. Okay.
So if we're
that's
gonna be,
fine.
if we're gonna be specific there for that, then I think that's,
That's fine, yeah.
yep.
Okay? All right. Article 4, appropriation for long-term capital stabilization fund. Last year, funds from the long-term capital stabilization fund were allocated to address fire and safety concerns at Dartmouth Public Schools. This article proposes replacing the $500,000 previously used for this purpose. The Long-Term Capital Committee recommends continuing contributions to this stabilization fund as the town addresses future facility needs. I think that's pretty well worded.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Is everybody?
Everybody?
You wanna say replacing or allocating? It sound like,
Well, because we are replacing it, though. I think allocating sounds like we're putting it aside, but replacing sounds like we've used it and we're just replacing it. We're putting it back,
I like replacing,
yeah, okay.
personally.
You like it? you don't?
otherwise, I think attributing would be right.
All right.
Okay, so nothing's in for Article 5 yet.
I didn't know what,
I'm gonna minimize it
Be
because
honest
I
with
wanna
you.
go to this to see what it
we should
said.
get the wording from Cody and Gary on this, sad to say.
So this was Article 5, right?
Fine.
Oh, just see what the warrant actually says.
This is it right here, right?
Because is this the one that we said we wanted to put something in about potential for a rate hike halfway through the year?
I don't know if you wanna
Yeah.
put that in there, only because, I think it's something, I mean, one thing you'll see is I'm very blunt, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So I have no problem addressing these, in a conversation.
Okay.
However, I think if you were to
If
list
the
that,
Transfers,
it would be incumbent upon us to list all of the possible,
I gotta fix mine.
Okay.
solutions. And I don't know if this is the spot to go into
approved.
that.
Right.
there you go.
I think it's gonna, I'm just
Transfers
speaking
from
off the top of my
retaining
head, just getting my thoughts out in the air.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
I think it's important, I mean, bottom line is,
Literally just repeats.
it is the right thing to
Unless you
do
need
to approve this because we
explain
have to
something
pay
more
for
complicated, which
our
that's-
bills
That's
that
what I
have been
noticed
paid.
usually do.
Money to be-
But I think
And
it wouldn't hurt to have a sentence or two in there just stating the concern of the history of what happened. Just, again, so town meeting is aware that there's a problem here that the team is working on and managing, but
happy to
certainly
add.
something that needs to, I'm just.
Well, and
I'm
there's
just
two problems. The
speaking out
first
loud at the
problem
moment.
is structural, because we're buying 50% of our water from New Bedford because of the wells being down. And then, I don't know if we want to put something in about the fact that Cody and Gary are stepping in, that to me seems like,
Well, I think that will probably come out.
somebody's going to
yeah,
ask a
but I
question.
Town meeting, it
yeah.
came out here, it came out at the Board of Selectmen, so it's gonna come out again,
Yeah,
someone's gonna ask.
but you know what I'm saying about,
The,
I just feel like it puts somebody out there.
All right,
I
so,
mean, I think it's going to get asked from the floor, and whoever is the appropriate person is going to answer that question.
So
I
might
can't
as well
believe
take
somebody's
it
going to
out,
see
okay.
deficit and not raise their hand.
You want to be clear on what this is, so we'll transfer retained earnings and water, and then the next sentence, no, I think that's a good start, but the next sentence you want to put, revenues, expenses, exceeded revenues, for the fund, for the water enterprise fund,
exceeded
expenses,
Expenses,
exceeded expenses.
in fiscal '25,
Expenses first.
Yeah, expenses
exceeded.
exceeded revenues.
Ah, I knew that sounded right.
yep,
yeah, there you go.
exceeded revenues,
You could just say FY 25.
in FY '25. And then you can maybe mention mainly due to the purchase of water in, I mean, if we want, that's something we can put in there, or that's really the
Only
main.
due to the
Yeah.
Future
purchasing
purchase
water
of
from New
water
Yeah.
from New Bedford as a result of damaged wells, lightning.
I might let them ask personally.
All right.
I just leave it the way it is.
We have people that
I
will
leave it the way
stand
it
up
is.
and, whoever, Tim Barber, whoever the
I
appropriate
think you
person.
can keep it simple, yeah.
They can,
That's
So
his,
you just
that's
wanna
his job.
put, exceed to exceeded, and then I would put the city
Yes,
of,
right.
city.
To exceeded.
And then I would put the city of New Bedford.
Correct.
Yes, that's a good point.
So maybe,
yeah.
maybe you could end it with, the Department of Revenue is requiring that the town undertake this process. Because this is I mean, the department, we are required to do this.
Okay, that's good.
Department of Revenue are required.
The Department of
Is
Revenue
the
is
department.
The
requiring.
Department of Revenue requires this.
Thank you.
Capital R.
You want to capitalize,
Gotcha.
yeah, capitalize revenue.
Doing great over there,
Got
Carrie.
it. Oh, I can do this all, well, I don't want to.
You want to put, you want to put
No, you
the
don't.
before the department?
What do I want to do?
The before the department?
Good point.
You don't want to end with this.
I was just gonna say, I don't wanna end with
I
this.
will fix
I
it.
was just trying to think what the word should go there, because it's not this.
How about this action is required by the
What's this
Department of
action?
Revenue?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Requires this action.
Careful, they're gonna put you in charge of this next year.
How's it-
No, wait, the Department of Revenue requires this.
This action is required by the Department of Revenue.
I like that.
Yeah, that's way better.
That's good. Note that. Patrick Saunders, follow up to Carrie in case she's not available.
Voluntold.
Can you add the Mass Department of Revenue?
Yeah,
We
Massachusetts
don't have
Department
a
of Revenue.
Department of Revenue here. We,
That's true.
Thank
the
you.
Mass Department of Revenue.
Someone's
It's the
gonna
big-
say-
Should I write out
The
Massachusetts, yes?
barrels.
It's up to you. Right, somebody's gonna go, Dartmouth has a Department of Revenue?
Okay, how's that?
Yep.
By the Massachusetts
I don't know if we want to add, I mean, I'm personally encouraged by the response that Cody and Gary have responded and how it's being addressed. I don't want everything to be all doom and gloom with this. I think Cody and Gary have identified the problem and are actively managing it, and I think that's helpful context to have, just to give people some concern, but reassurance that it's not rampant. It's not something that's not being addressed. I don't know if it's worth.
Personally, and this is just my 2 cents, it's not really our, we have people that will address that. We don't have to address
That's
it.
probably gonna be asked from the floor anyway.
It's gonna be asked on the floor, there's not even a doubt in my mind about that. I'm
mean,
happy to write something in support.
It's up
just
to us
throwing
to
it
be
out there. I
factual
don't-
about what the article is, not to really attach any, because it's not a letter, it's not a letter to the town, it's just a factual statement of what this is.
Town
And how we
administration.
voted.
You
Town
could add,
administration is addressing the problem. Town, is it, not our, town administration is addressing the problem.
Thank you.
Has advised us, right, that they're addressing the problem, right?
Where you going?
I don't know, I'm going too far down.
Okay.
Let me know when I get back there.
You went too
You already
far.
went.
I went too far again? I'm
Article
looking for the, where are we? 4?
No, five.
Keep going.
5.
Five.
Right
there.
there.
There you go, right there, Carrie.
There it is, thank you.
Is addressing the problem or issue. whatever.
I would, if you're gonna put anything, and I would put town administration is taking action to rectify the issue.
Patrick.
I know. Wait, I already forgot what he said.
Taking action
Thank
to
you.
rectify the issue.
Well, we're still in a
Taking
deficit there, so.
I might just say taking
Rectify
action and go,
the,
but
Yeah, I wouldn't put rectify, I put monitoring.
Or monitor, or
Monitoring.
mitigate
Okay.
future.
You
Monitoring.
can just say is addressing the problem, why do we have to go?
Well, no, because
I
the
can't
problem
address
still
the problem that
exists.
happened last
right,
year.
monitoring is more
You
accurate.
have to
Except
get a
for to do
detailed
this
story.
transfer.
Yeah, right.
Our administration is
Right,
monitoring this issue.
To mitigate future impacts or,
Yeah.
something along those
Future
lines.
reoccurrence, or, I don't know. Maybe we don't need to, but I just thought, personally, I was encouraged, so.
I want to say something about they're monitoring the deficit in this account. You had 6 million in there 5 years ago, we got 100,000. That's a huge deficit if we thought 6 million was appropriate 5 years ago.
2 million.
2 million.
2 million.
Yeah, 2 million.
Whatever it is, it was a big figure and we're down to, so I want to recognize that there's a deficit there, that this is only a slight Band-Aid to the real problem.
So do you want me to write the town administration is monitoring this deficit? No, don't like the word
Because
deficit.
once this
Very
article, I
negative.
guess we're going a little off. Once this article addresses the issue, it's no longer a deficit. So we
This
want,
issue.
if you're going to mention anything, you want to say that the town administration is monitoring this in fiscal '26 and going forward. I would leave it, I
Maybe
kind of would leave it like
deficit.
at that.
What's the term? So, yeah, we won't be in a deficit if we put this money back in, but we're in.
But FY '25, we still ran a deficit. Yeah, we
where
still
Where
ran.
we should be, so how do we?
Could add at the
That's
end,
what
this
you're
is
really
good.
monitoring.
Gary, you
on.
could add at the end with the goal of returning to previous levels of retained earning.
Right.
There you go, that's
Yeah,
good.
That's it. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
With the goal of returning to previous,
Retained earning levels, balances or whatever.
Yep, that's great.
earning levels, earnings,
Levels or balances, Gary?
Let me see, let me read this.
earning balances,
Monitoring this FY '26 with a goal of
balance.
returning to previous retained earning.
Or something else?
Yeah, returning to previous, I don't know, I guess I'll struggle with, to returning to previous retained earning balances. Someone could hold you to say that
Yeah.
next year, we're gonna be
We're gonna be in the
generate
positive.
$2 million in retained earnings, and that's not the case.
Good point.
So I think that you just leave it as town administration is monitoring this
In fiscal year
so I guess-
in
2026.
FY '26.
Period.
Because
All right,
that
let's
lends
move on.
itself to more questions.
Yeah, I think if you,
All right,
Moving on.
we're monitoring it in fiscal '26.
That's
We don't
fine.
know what the retained earnings will be at the end of
Right.
fiscal '26.
Can
We're
you
hoping it's
say
gonna be to the
something
positive.
like,
Finance Committee,
to,
we deserve caps.
I think that's good. I think.
I think it's okay.
it just doesn't accomplish what John was saying, because it would be nice if there was some way to reflect the fact that we had that concern. So I was thinking, like, the town administration is monitoring this is in FY 2026 to,
And going forward?
to continue to build balances or, you know what I'm saying? That something that in as positive a way possible says we want to get back to where we were. I know what you're saying, though,
Exploring
Gary, it can't be
solutions.
done right away.
Yeah, I think this is generic enough to leave it open to not a number, if you will. If in fact the question is asked, what it was and where it is now, we can definitely answer that. And what that looks like at the end of fiscal '26, we don't know yet. And the policies that we may have to put in place, we don't know if that's gonna, as mentioned, there's different things that we can use, but we don't know what the outcome of that would be.
Okay.
Right now, we don't. So I think
think it's
to
fine.
put that in a rationale might be a little bit confusing.
So how about something like with the goal of increasing retained earnings?
With the goal of maintaining stability, or
Goal of what?
Isn't that
maintaining some
stating the
stability,
obvious?
or, yeah,
I mean,
I think I might leave it. I
I'd
think
leave it like
Gary's
this.
more comfortable leaving it. I don't
Yeah,
want to hold him
kinda
to
like
something that he's
Gary's
gonna feel
Thoughts
uncomfortable
on
with.
that, right? Because, John Sousa's
Yeah,
going to
I-
ask him from the floor.
I'm okay.
And demand, I said, John Sousa's going to ask him from the floor and demand all the numbers.
Well, they put it in now.
Yeah, I think there's
saying.
some smarter people at me at town meeting that will ask that.
No, I think I think that's good. I mean, it's been.
Yeah, I think it just shows that
about-
you're aware and that
Yeah.
you're really watching it and keeping an eye on it. All right, can we move on, yeah?
Yes.
We good?
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right.
That's almost a cut and
Article
paste.
6.
That's almost a cut and paste. for
This is a
Article
cut and
6.
paste. That's what I just did a few minutes ago.
I mean, for Article 6.
Yeah.
From 5 to 6, that
We're trying to-
he's
we're trying to
saying, and then just change the
Oh,
wording
the finance committee
slightly.
supports a transfer from retained
Yep.
earnings in the solid waste enterprise fund for $4,306 to fund a prior year appropriation deficit in said enterprise fund.
And then you can cut and paste expenses exceed, right? I mean, it's really the same exact.
Copy. Paste.
There we go.
All right.
Beautiful thing. Everybody love it? Yes. Article 7.
Article 7.
Yes.
Sorry, there's too many spaces there. The Capital Improvement Committee has thoroughly investigated and prioritized all the projects mentioned in this article. They have consulted with department heads to obtain the necessary information to make recommendations to the town meeting. The town of Dartmouth has a long-standing practice for planning for capital purchases through a capital improvement plan. This practice aims to avoid emergency purchases and preserve the town's assets. This year's recommendations include substantial funding for the Dartmouth Public Schools, DPW, Police Department, and some smaller projects. Regrettably, numerous requests were unable to be funded and will remain on the plan to be reviewed for the next town meeting. The Finance Committee supports the request for,
Yep.
and then the numbers are all there.
That's
cut and
where,
pasted.
should we be more specific in the regrettably, or do people?
I would
I
not.
don't think so. I think it's good.
I would not.
People, as you know, this will be discussed.
It can be asked if people want to ask it.
Why do we need to cite, we're recommending the whole article, so why didn't we repeat?
I agree.
All the numbers.
Do you want me to take the numbers out?
Or you
Okay.
can-
That's
I can
all
take
right.
the numbers
Or you
out.
can just.
They're gonna have
I
them,
think when
they're
I
gonna have it in
do
front of
I
them,
just
so.
add
We don't do that
Doesn't
anyplace
matter.
else where we,
All right, so just, okay. So just get rid of this, yeah?
Or you could just say the
And
finance
then-
committee supports it, but we obviously voted 7-0-0, so.
Perfect.
Can you go back up? I'm sorry.
I can.
Regrettably, numerous requests were unable to be funded and will remain on the plan to be reviewed for the next town meeting. I kind of want to highlight that it will cost more to do it next year than it will to do it this year. It's just what I'm thinking in my brain.
But we all voted for it.
Ye-
It's not a, that's kind of a
Yeah,
minority
we-
thought, personally.
No, I don't think I think we can all agree that it's gonna cost more money next year than it is gonna cost this year. I just wanna be crystal clear with town meeting that
How about with the understanding that,
because we weren't able to fund it this year because we don't have the money, it's going to cost us even more next year to do the same thing,
okay,
is a thought I wanna put out there. And we're saying regrettably, right, it's regrettable, but there's also implications, financial
yeah,
implications to kicking the can down the road.
Because they don't hasn't.
Right, roll them, yeah.
Technically, it's next fiscal year.
So then after to be funded, and will, and although they will be reviewed on the next town meeting, they will undoubtedly cost, more money at that point. I think the point that Nate's trying to make, and
understand
it
his
is a
point.
good one, is to get it out there that.
I know,
so
but
that
we've
it's
said it
crystal
before.
clear.
We say it all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like we haven't said it.
all right, tear it apart. Let me keep moving it around the screen so that you have trouble reading
I would
it.
just remove undoubtedly. May cost the town more money. The understanding that these projects may cost the town more money.
I wouldn't put may, I would say will,
Yeah,
because
true.
that's a, for sure.
Well, you never know, things might become
Way.
cheaper.
No.
You all right?
Everybody.
Tell me the
does.
Kool-Aid you're drinking, because I want some of that.
I recall that the cost of bullets went down. Cody, correct me if I'm wrong.
See, sometimes things go cheaper.
Caliber went down.
Just saying.
To a smaller caliber.
At the end of projects, they're smaller
We're gonna
projects.
shoot little people.
Prior rationales, you put, well, this is a little bit different than what prior, but it said, it was a comma, see detailed description in warrant article 7, comma, so.
That was
maybe
one
you
of
wanna
my
put-
cut and
Maybe you wanna
paste.
put that in there.
Okay, say that again?
After projects,
Yes.
period after, no, up, the last
paragraph.
paragraph,
No, no.
down. At
First
the end of the
paragraph,
Right at the end of the paragraph,
at the end of the paragraph.
yep. You could put comma, see detailed description in warrant article 7, and then close, so that they know to look at
Yeah,
the article for the, like John was saying, for the
that was one of
amounts.
my favorite phrases,
In Article 7, is that
Yeah.
where we are, Article 7?
capital A.
Thank you,
And warrant Article 7.
thank
Yep.
you.
W. I know, just
I
slap me.
really like
Just
you.
slap me.
No, you're fine. All right, how's that? It's telling me to do that.
Okay, good. That's good.
Okay?
Everybody love it?
Yes.
My mail is so excited down there. It's jumping all around.
It's jumping. Okay.
All right, moving on. Article 8. Appropriation for MSBA feasibility study high school roof. As is widely known, the Dartmouth High School roof has reached the end of its operational lifespan and necessitates replacement. The Select Board and School Committee have unanimously recommended submitting a statement of interest in the Commonwealth's MSBA, Mass School Building Authority. Thank you very much for putting that in there. I appreciate that, Terry.
acronyms.
Grant program, so do I. This application has been submitted and the town is awaiting a decision. Should the application be removed, approximately 50% of the costs will be funded by the state. This request pertains to the cost of a feasibility study, which is one of the MSBA's requirements.
Right. Does it all.
I think it kind of does say it all.
Does it all.
I think that's a good explanation.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
so let's get this out of here and fix that to just.
The only thing is,
nothing
as widely known, is that a big assumption on?
That's
our
true.
part?
That is a bit of an assumption. I have to say that it's widely known.
Yeah, I
Everybody,
don't know if I'd say
Oh, I
that.
just
I don't think it's widely known. It comes up in almost every single town meeting for the past, since I've been on Dartmouth, since I've been on the finance committee.
Roof?
Yeah, but
I'd be
you
more,
know,
I'd be
maybe-
more
maybe
likely to just start the sentence with the Dartmouth High School
Yeah.
roof, frankly.
All
I'm
right.
not sure roof has to be capitalized, as important as it is. I don't think the roof has to be.
Were you an English teacher? This is good.
No, but I did a lot of editing.
This is good. This is
I
good.
think
Oh,
at
the
I
least
don't-
at the end of
The
its
next sentence I
operational
put
lifespan says a
in,
lot.
which is different, just to highlight the fact that we're asked to
Yeah.
weigh in on these things that are not money.
All right, how many articles do we have following this? 9 through, what does it end at?
I think that,
11? Is that correct, everybody? We have 11 articles? I don't have a.
What's,
No, it
what's
goes up to
the,
14.
14 articles.
14?
Yeah.
yeah, but the ones that
You
are.
got some
oh, and
charter
they're all
issues
the
that
same,
are
yeah.
gonna have to be addressed.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
No, some of those drop
Some
out.
anyways.
She said you have to
Well,
renumber.
nine, only nine
Oh,
through,
did I, are these not going in the right?
only 9 through
Go, go.
11 don't have a financial concern.
That's
Only
right.
9 through 11?
9 through 11 of the bylaw
Thank you,
changes.
Patrick.
Because they're-
Article 9 doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, so,
Sorry, I
so
have to
9
go.
is actually not this anymore. Well, I gotta take this one out entirely, that's what you're telling me?
9,
Correct.
Yeah.
We've got to
I'll be
renumber.
over later.
oh, 9's got to do with the
Be over
public
later.
works.
So, did the charter amendment go away completely?
That one did.
One.
Yes, Board of Assessors is
Board of
gone.
Assessors is gone.
Okay, so that goes out
Let me
entirely.
get onto the thing here so I
And
have
the
the right
next one's
numbers.
gone to the Board of Health.
Oh, I'm
Correct.
loving it. Okay,
Yep,
so
yep,
now
we
I gotta
lost two.
renumber them.
Yeah, so you got, so number 9 becomes the Board of Public Works membership.
All right, so this is 9.
Correct.
Yes, so we're now at Charter Amendment, Board of Public Works.
Okay. And
got
this is
everything,
gonna
Terry?
be 10.
Be careful this
Might as
quarter.
well go all the way down. This is 11.
She's got her bag. She's good to go.
I would keep it the same. Board of Public Works membership.
Okay, it has something different on here, huh? I'll fix that.
Yes, I'm not sure. Something changed, but that's how it
13.
reads on this draft. That's correct, right?
I'll fix it, yeah,
Charter
if you keep
Amendment,
it up
Board of
there.
Public Works membership, that's what it is, right?
Well, why do I have 15 here? Is there another one that dropped out? We can
Yeah,
figure it out.
Which one do you,
Let's just go to, why don't we
Let's just
just
go back to
yeah, what's the
9.
last-
do them as we, okay.
All right,
thank you.
Charter Amendment, Board of Public Works membership.
That's, all right, that's where we're at now. That's
Correct.
right.
I think that wording is great.
Oop,
You don't need any more.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
okay. In certain instances, a 3-member board presents obstacles to the board's effectiveness. For instance, achieving a quorum or conducting a comprehensive discussion of the issues may be challenging with such a small committee. The Select Board proposes this modification. Having sought input from board chairs, the Board of Public Works has requested this modification for its committee.
I like it.
Okay?
Fine.
Yeah, that's good. Everybody? Good.
All
Excellent.
right, number 10, general bylaw amendment, membership of the zoning board of appeals, is that?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, that one.
That's the one that disappeared.
Now we're at Charter Amendment,
rules and regulations? is the
Section
next-
6-5,
That
rules and
Article 10
regulations.
becomes, section,
Charter amendment, why does it say charter amendment twice?
well, it shouldn't, that should be Article 10 now. You got
It is.
Charter Amendment, section 6-5.
Rules and regulations.
Regulations.
There have been concerns raised regarding the abrupt implementation of town and department policies affecting those directly impacted. This proposal aims to alleviate these concerns by restricting the time frame for such changes twice annually and the duration of required notices from 10 days to 90 days. Although not strictly a financial concern, the Town of Dartmouth Charter mandates that the Finance Committee provide a recommendation on each article in the warrant.
I would
So
just take
I-
out that
I don't
last
need to-
sentence.
Yeah, we don't need to say
We
that.
know that. Everybody knows that.
let's leave that
If
part
they don't
out.
know it by now, then they haven't been a town meeting member very long. Capital T on town.
Oh, yeah. I'll get that. I'm gonna be so good at English by the time we're done.
You are.
All right, so we're good with that one?
Yep.
Yes,
All right, I'm gonna switch this to number 11.
that's
Gonna-
the Council on Aging one. Yeah.
This is still here, right?
Yep,
Okay.
that's still there.
The title's different though now.
Yeah, general bylaw amendment,
General bylaw amendment, chapter 9, Dartmouth Council.
because it's not a charter amendment. Somebody
Okay.
realized that at
Chapter
some
9.
point. Chapter 9,
Yeah. Chapter 9, Dartmouth, comma. Dartmouth Council on Aging,
And take off the advisory board.
yes.
yes.
Okay?
Oh,
We have
nothing.
nothing, so let's cut and paste. Oops.
Well, it's just change, what we're doing, we basically,
This town amends the town's, amends the bylaw, and then use that as phrase, see warrant article 11
All right, you
for,
want just, we can just dictate it. That's fine, go ahead.
this article amends the town's general bylaws as detailed in warrant article 11.
Where is it?
It's not, I'm reading, I'm
Oh,
making it up as I
Go
go.
ahead, say it again. Short memory here. Go ahead.
This article
Yep.
amends the town's general bylaws as detailed in warrant article 11.
I would put at the request of the Council on Aging.
There you go, perfect. Because there's no way you're gonna summarize all those paragraphs, and they need to read it. And caps warrant article, and caps T,
Where?
town's general bylaws, your description. Go on.
Good?
Cap warrant article.
And then change on to of.
On is of. You got it.
Okay.
And then where's the cap?
Warrant, W, capital.
Where's warrant?
Warrant
Right before
article
11.
Article,
as detailed in
To the right.
warrant article 11.
Right there.
capital
Where?
W.
I'm not.
Right there, you just went by with
It's
it.
one sentence.
This
Oh. It's one sentence, I can't find it.
article A.
Listen, I've been up since like, 5, 8, well, not quite
Oh my
5,
God.
close. All right, got it.
Think after this.
Clearly, I'm not a
You may
secretary.
not be speaking to you after this.
No, no, it's fine. All right, in light of the, are we good to move on? Number
Yeah.
13?
Yep.
Everybody's good?
Good.
In light of the town of Dartmouth's receipt of federal grant funding from an opioid settlement, there is a pressing need for an individual to coordinate the activities associated with this grant.
Wait, something's wrong with
How
the
about,
numbering.
no,
That's
how
Should be
about
Article
Article
12.
Article
No wonder
12,
something
what is
was
Article
on.
12 do?
That's article
Yeah.
12.
This
Personal-
is on.
Personal bylaw amendment is article 12.
Ah.
New position, that's perfect. Yep, yep, yep.
Okay.
Now,
In light of the town of Dartmouth's receipt of federal grant funding from opioid settlement, there is a pressing need for an individual to coordinate the activities associated with this grant. This article proposes to allocate funds from this grant to cover the salary of a coordinator.
Is that what this article is doing?
I have no idea. Is
The
it?
article,
It's
it's just,
telling them
what
it's
the
a
article's
federal
doing
grant.
is shifting of the position from
No, wait a
$28
minute.
No, no, you've got the explanation.
cents to $37
Is
and 14 cents. That's what it's doing.
I think that's the description for something else.
Should I cut and paste from,
This is, yeah, that's
know-
that's
Yeah, we're
wrong.
not moving money from
yeah,
anything.
okay, hold on. this is down here somewhere.
We're amending a Schedule A
Yeah, it's,
and adding a following position that will exist. But we're-
Right,
Yeah, I'm
This
just.
is it right here, right?
yep.
that's right. To add the following positions in that salary range.
But this is, yeah, all right. So should I just
I mean, I almost,
copy?
I don't think you have to do anything, just leave it. Why do you have to change anything?
No, that's,
I'm not changing
Oh,
it,
that's
I'm copying and
that's the
pasting.
actual warrant, Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
Understood, but
I don't know what good
Need to
copy and
add any
pasting the
more?
warrant is. It's just restating what's already in the warrant. I think we're looking for our opinion on this, I think.
well,
Sometimes we just restate the warrant, that's.
yeah. because
Often.
something
Sometimes
like
it doesn't
that,
require
I mean,
too much of
why
an
only
explanation.
reinvent the wheel?
We could simply say, the finance committee supports this amendment as written.
Yep, do that, sure.
Okay,
Yeah, rather
Did
than
you- prefer that, is that the consensus?
That's fine. It's kind of a cut and dry article, it's not.
It's almost like a housekeeping article.
It is.
Actually, that might even be good to mention, or just leave it. Less is more sometimes, I guess.
As written?
As written in the warrant. Yep.
Right, so I gotta say,
That's fine.
so I have to say.
All right, now we're up to
13.
13.
Is this correct? Appropriation from new program income.
Yes,
Right, that's right.
Yep,
It's
sounds good.
2010, this grant.
Okay, the Community Development Block Grant Program established a revolving fund during its active period. However, since 2010, this grant program has ceased to be available. The objectives of this program, sorry. Oh, it's so sad.
Beautiful.
Why is it not? Trying to make it bigger, but that's not working out. Oh. Were incorporated into the Community Preservation Act's housing guidelines. This article requests $100,000 from the CDBG revolving fund to be utilized for similar grant matching, consultation, affordable housing initiatives, and administrative support.
I think that's the explanation.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I don't have anything to add to that
That sounds good.
or take away
That's
from it.
great.
All right, so the next one is number 14, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Increase of elderly tax exemption.
all right.
The Assessors Committee has observed.
Board of Assessors.
What? The Board of
Board of
Assessors.
Assessors.
Thank you. The Dartmouth Board of Assessors?
Well, I think.
Oh.
Or is that
I think
like-
we
Yes,
always start.
yes, understood.
Okay, the Board of Assessors Committee has observed.
committee.
Get rid of the committee.
No committee. The Board of Assessors
Yep.
has observed a surge.
And it's
In
not,
requests-
it's not a possessive. There's no.
The Board of Assessors has observed a surge in requests from residents who meet the eligibility criteria for this exemption. While this article estimates a 100% increase in these exemptions, additional funds within the budget will be allocated to cover the associated costs.
I wouldn't say it's a surge. It's not that they've seen a surge. The same amount of people that qualified last year, the same amount of people that qualified this year, we're just upping the contribution from the town.
That's the more important fact,
Yeah.
is that the.
Has
Not that
observed
that's not that there's a
requests from
surge of
residents?
additional,
The Board of Assessors
This
has
is-
observed, is there requests or no requests?
well, there's requests every year, so let me read this. The Board of Assessors, I would get rid of, has observed requests from residents. I would state more that the Board of Assessors is looking to increase the exemption from 500 to
Yeah.
1,000 for residents who meet the eligibility criteria for this exemption.
What are we increasing it from?
500
to
to
1,000.
1,000. Did the Board of Assessors not get the memo that we don't use the term elderly, we now use aging?
Looking to increase 500 to $1,000.
Well, the Dartmouth Council on Aging
Board of
changed
Assessors
it.
looking to increase.
It's not geriatric.
$500 to 1,000.
But before 500, you're gonna wanna put what it's
What it
increasing.
is, that's what I was just thinking.
Elderly
So-
tax exemption.
Yeah, elderly tax exemption.
Oh, should we write aging tax exemption?
Oh, it's still called the elderly tax exemption. Yeah.
I would put the elderly tax exemption.
Got it.
and then put
From,
yep.
from $500 to $1,000. Available to residents who meet the eligibility requirement for this exemption, something like that. Wait a minute, tax exemption for $500?
$502,000.
Yep.
Available to residents who meet the eligibility criteria for this exemption, yes?
So,
that-
I
if-
think say to assist residents who meet the eligibility. That's what you're doing.
so Matt,
Yeah, assist, yeah, to assist.
Yes, to assist.
so it's a little wordy.
Where's the
Get rid
assist
of,
go?
while this article, I would get rid of, while this article estimates 1,000% increase in this exempt, additional funds will be covered, I would
Yeah,
eliminate all that.
What are we eliminating?
The
Last
last
sentence.
sentence.
Oh, yeah, okay. So while this article, get rid of
Yeah,
that.
I would
And
mix that.
I would say the Board of Assessors' request to increase is looking to, is kind of the English.
No, you've already got it at the top there.
That's
Top,
fine.
top,
Yeah.
the first sentence.
A revision of the first sentence.
Is looking to increase,
No,
Not
request.
increase, to
Request,
assist.
Yeah.
is requesting to increase.
No, just request,
Oh, just request.
less words.
Requests,
To increase,
No, the elderly.
I need
tax
increase,
exemption from
well, you
500.
are, increase that, you can say, you wanna say to
Yeah, Board of
assist
Assessors.
residents?
Board of Assessors
Available
request to increase the
to-
elderly tax exemption from available to residents.
Assist residents.
And then after 1,000, I would probably change it to for residents instead of available to, for residents who
Yeah,
meet the
yeah,
eligible
Yes.
better.
Okay,
criteria, so take out available to. I think that'll be pretty
for
good.
resident, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
that looks good.
I do think it's important to note, though, that this will not have an impact on the operational budget, right? This is funded, or even to say where it's funded from, it's funded from the overlay account, right? So I
This will
think
not have an impact on the operational budget as funds are distributed from the town's overlay account.
There you go.
Good job, got the capital T.
And I remember the whole sentence. I didn't have you repeat it 3 times.
Who's got a sticker for Carrie?
Right
Saw the day, who will it be?
That's it, right?
That's it.
All right,
That's it.
let's
All she
save it.
wrote.
And Gary, I will send it, and I'll send it to the whole committee as soon as I can get out of this building and it's not blocking my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so, you have to send it to the, clerk also. If this is the final version, it
I
says
would
draft
send
this.
it to
Sarah.
us, let everybody look at
Right,
it, because,
right,
you know, we all have
Yep.
a chance to find a spell
Yep.
problem,
Yep.
space problem,
Yep.
whatever problem.
Yep,
Right back to Carrie individually, if you have a,
Individual.
oh my God, you know,
Yeah.
there should be a, whatever there.
I forgot a period somewhere.
Yeah, something like that. And then you have to make sure you take out the word, I only say this because I've faced this before. You take out that word draft, they will not fix it for you.
Yeah, you have to show me how to remove the draft.
Yeah, highlight it and,
There's a, I think it says remove watermark. There's
Yeah.
a,
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I was trying to think what the function was, it's
You gotta
watermark.
highlight it and go up to the, menu.
I wouldn't be removing it until you get the final, but yeah.
That's how you do it, though.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay,
And she has to have it by Thursday, is that correct?
I'll send it out tonight and then hear back from
If everybody
everybody
looks at it
tomorrow
tomorrow.
and then send it out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
The quicker I do it, the
Yeah.
better.
and then
I'm
whatever the
not gonna be
final
late.
version is, send it to Sarah.
Sarah Haskell?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sarah-
Ruda, not Haskell.
Sarah Haskell.
Haskell
Ruda.
Sarah
Oh,
Haskell
it is
Ruda.
okay, Haskell
Yeah.
Ruda. Okay, got it. All right, and so you said the watermark, I'm gonna find that before I leave. Okay, is that it? So
Hang on.
what's next on the agenda?
Anybody have, well, we don't have a town administrator here with us at this point, so moving on, liaison reports since, you know, the other day. Anyone?
No,
That would be no. Minutes for approval, we do have minutes.
we do have
Yes.
minutes. We're good.
On the liaison reports, we're waiting for an additional member so that we can divvy up the,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
no, right,
meetings,
we're gonna redo
the-
the liaisons as
Yeah,
soon as
we're
we
waiting for
end
another-
up with a full complement of finance committee folks. So the minutes were, somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes from September 25th?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Patrick makes a motion, Nate seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Perfect. Gary,
Yes.
Do we need to have another meeting at what point?
Before town meeting?
Correct?
Not if the committee hasn't, if the committee doesn't have anything else to, address before town meeting, I would say that we don't need another meeting before town meeting.
We don't have anything to address before town meeting that I'm aware of, but as you know, there are members who think we always have topics to discuss. I'm not sure that we need to do it before town meeting.
Yeah.
That's, I
Yeah,
can,
I
I
would,
can bring
Not
that
enough
up
this
and
year.
see what
Yeah, I
people
would
feel
suggest that the-
after town
I would
meeting.
suggest right after town meeting, like, beginning of November.
Yeah.
I'll then send out the budget message to the departments.
Yep.
We start meeting, as close, well, prior to Thanksgiving, and then we'll have, because we have the break, you have the Thanksgiving break, so, maybe a couple weeks before, Thanksgiving, and start talking about strategy for, fiscal '27.
Okay. And what was the other thing I was going to say?
But I will post the meeting because, I'm not sure if we have to meet prior to town meeting.
That's what I was gonna ask you,
Yeah.
sorry, my mind just went blank, but any reason we have to meet on the
Yeah, there-
stage right before town meeting?
No, we only do that in the spring for the
Right.
reason of line item transfers, but we have no line item transfers
Okay,
this go around.
so we don't have to arrive necessarily early at this point?
No.
Good to know. So that
So
everybody
it's the
knows.
21st, right, at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, evening meeting.
Good.
Correct.
Anybody else have any comments or concerns? No? Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Patrick made the
second that motion.
Carrie second. We are officially adjourned.